What?
It's time now for My Two Favorite Librarians. Brought to you by Copper Tree Boutique in Dales Grant Market, located in beautiful, historic downtown Amherst.
Hi, this is My Two Favorite Librarians. I'm Denise Corey.
I'm Chantel Taylor, and today we're talking about best of lists.
Yes. So before we start,
Yes.
this week's book for Stay Home and Read Atlantic is Making It Home by Alison Delory, and the publisher says that Delory ponders a question as relevant in Atlantic Canada as anywhere in the world. Where and how do we belong, and what does it take to make it home?
I see. That made no sense to me at all.
So, Stay Home and Read Atlantic is an initiative of the Atlantic Publishers Marketing Association. See, I wrote it down this week so I would remember.
Good job.
And the government of Nova Scotia through the Nova Scotia Provincial Library. You can download that book on Overdrive. It is instant access to the ebook, no holds and no waiting.
Yay.
Yeah, that one's set in Cape Breton. So,
Exciting.
yes. I mean, yeah. So, as of right now, and we're recording this on Wednesday, I have completed 33 books this year.
Very nice. I'm still sitting at 17. No, probably I'm at 18. I may have read one during pandemic.
And I've completed 25 of the 50 Pop Sugar reading challenges.
Look at you go. What page are you on Les Mis?
Let's not talk about terrible things.
Okay, we can move along.
I don't know what page I'm on, but I've just met Fantine.
Okay. Oh, so you are moving along because the last week I think
We had
you
just
had
met
said Jean Valjean.
Yes, but it's still like just a wee smidgen of the larger book.
Do you think you'll finish it in 2020?
No.
Okay.
I hope I'll finish it in 2021. I know it depends on how long we have to stay in our houses.
All right.
Speaking of staying in your house,
Yes.
the library is offering borrow by mail. So it's not the fastest service because, you know, there's only 2 or 3 of us in the building at any one time and we've got to stay apart. So it takes time for us to get everything sorted, but we are mailing things to your home. Books, puzzles, movies, magazines.
Yes.
Yeah. You're like, just stop talking. Stop talking. I mean, yeah.
Books by mail.
Books by mail.
Borrow by mail. We
Yes.
should be calling it, not books by mail.
Yes, because you can get more than books.
Exactly, yes. And that's available to anyone in Cumberland County with a library card.
Yeah.
If you don't have a library card, give us a call at, insert clicker noise here.
Why am I getting a clicker noise? 902-667-2135.
Or you can email us at,
information@cumberlandpubliclibraries.ca.
I feel like you deserve clicker noises too.
I don't need to be trained. You can find more information about it on our website.
www.cumberlandpubliclibraries.ca.
Okay. So I don't know how many times I've mentioned this. I feel like it's a lot, but I love a book list.
Yes. So there are numerous different kinds of book lists. Because, of course, end of year book lists, best of the year. We always go through those to see, are we missing a book? Is there something I want to read that I missed?
My list of books that I want to read is so
Yeah,
long.
let's not even begin to engage in that. We need to keep on topic. You also have bestsellers lists. So New York Times, Chapters, Globe and Mail used to. I don't know if they still have an online like bestsellers. Maclean's might have.
Maclean's used to have one.
So those are current books that are on the bestsellers list. So what everybody's reading right at this moment. But what if you're like us and you're constantly looking for book topics? I don't know every single book that's in this library.
You don't know every single book that's in this library?
No, nor do I know every single book since the beginning of time. So what if I need to create a book list? What if I'm doing a program and I need picture books for a certain age on a certain topic.
Like when you did your graphic novel program with
Exactly.
the seniors college.
So we use book lists a lot. Every week for this radio show.
I love a book list. I found something new and fun today. There is a website called thegreatestbooks.org.
Ooh.
And
I may actually have come across that too when I was looking at book lists and just skipped past it.
the list creator says that its list is generated from 128 other best of book lists. Listerine from a variety of sources. So I went through their, because they have fiction and nonfiction, and they have it broken up by different decades. But I went through their top 100 greatest fiction books.
Yes.
And I've read 35 of them.
Very nice.
And one of the ones that I did not count as having read was Les Mis, because
in progress
for a long time.
So Goodreads is a big one. Goodreads, usually if you do a search for any sort of, so like, for instance, if you were looking for like the best books from 2000, which we did a couple of weeks ago, Goodreads is usually one of the places that pops up. Or we went looking for best fiction trilogies. Again, several lists on Goodreads about trilogies. That is kind of like a social media site, so it's very much driven by people voting on things and people putting categories, different subject headings like we would.
And you can build your own list.
You can. Yep, you absolutely can. Goodreads is also great because once you've liked a book, it will say, oh, if you liked this book, maybe you like these books. And it will say, like, maybe you've read a romance and it's historical, and maybe it was erotica, and maybe it took place, like, maybe it was medieval times. And so it will give you...
That sounds like the most bizarre book ever. Please find that book.
It is out there.
I'm sure.
It is out there.
And it maybe has dinosaurs.
And it, not in medieval times.
I'm being facetious. Geez.
So it will give you a breakdown, like these are other historical fiction romance, these are other erotica, these are other medieval times books. So Goodreads is a great resource.
The other thing that I use that for is, so I'm always talking about the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge because I'm trying to complete it. And I have not successfully completed it, but this year may be the year.
There are probably a million other people on Goodreads who are attempting to finish that Pop Sugar Challenge that are posting books that they've read.
Well,
for each tag.
There's a group that puts together lists based on the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge categories. So I'll go through that if I'm stuck for something to see.
You don't have to sign up to use Goodreads. And Goodreads isn't like Facebook, where you must interact with people. You can have friends. You don't have to have friends. You could sign up and just use it for the book lists and for the groups. You can also create shelves. That's how I count my books. Every time I finish a book, it goes into my challenge so I can see how many books I've read this year. But you can use it as you like it. You don't have to interact with people if you're not really interested in
people.
Like me.
I don't know. Why do you think it is? I love to go through a book list and determine what I've read and add things. Do you think that's because I have an English degree, or do you think I'm just like a weirdo list person?
No, I think I don't have an English degree. I like a good list. Mm-hmm. I like to be able to go through and see things that, like obviously last week we did trilogies. What are the trilogies that immediately come to mind for you? There's a bunch of teen ones. There's 50 Shades of Grey. But then you go through and you think, oh, I forgot about that one. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Like, there's so many lists of things.
Last week on our Facebook group, my two favorite librarians, Adam pointed out that when we talked about trilogies, we did not talk about Lord of the Rings.
I had it on my list and we just didn't mention it.
Yeah.
And again, because we can't go through every single thing. So that's why a book list is great. It gives you places to go. And on a lot of places, like Goodreads, you can tailor the list to your reading.
There's also a fun one. I don't know if you've ever looked at listchallenges.com.
I've never even heard of that.
So they have lists of books, movies, food, travel, etc.
So it's just like a website where you can create lists of things.
And you can go through, it's very satisfying. I play on this website far too much because you can go through and check off the things.
I do love checking off a list.
Yeah, and it tells you how many, so you don't have to count, and it tells you how you have done compared to other people who have responded to that list.
Nice. And that's, yeah.
Very satisfying. I will post that on our Facebook group, My Two Favorite Librarians, listchallenges.com. It's so lovely. The list of 1,000 albums you have to listen to before you die.
Oh, I'm in the midst of that.
I know. So you should go through that list.
I should go through that list. BookBub, that's another.
But I find with them, you get a certain point in, and then they want you to sign up to be able to see the rest.
I did sign up for it. I also then immediately unsigned up for any email because all I want to be able to do is look at lists. And they do have good ones. But yeah, that was one annoying thing that I wasn't pleased about. But in the end, I had to bite the bullet, sign up for it, just unsubscribe to their emails.
I get too many email as it is.
Someone I do love to get an email from is Book Riot. Book Riot is another website we love to use. They come up with great lists.
So many great lists. Because it's just like sci-fi dystopian for teens. Like, it's such a specific, but if that's the subject area you feel like you want to read in right now, there's a great list that they've put together.
They create a lot of fantastic lists. And they also have like a lot of, I don't know what you want to call them, editors working for them. And so, like, for instance, I get a daily email from the romance section group, which recommends different romance from Book Riot. So they give me very specific.
Have they recommended a historical romance set in medieval times that is also erotica?
I feel like pretty much anything in medieval times really crosses over into that erotica.
Really?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of dubious consent in medieval times.
Oh, what are you reading right now? Are you reading right now?
We recorded our podcast this morning, and I said, I'm going to start some Stephanie Plum. So I did download a Stephanie Plum, and I listened to about 5 minutes of it. So I downloaded Fingerlickin' 15, which is...
And did you download that from Hoopla?
I did download it from Hoopla,
so we have
yes.
it on Hoopla.
I thought they had more Stephanie Plum. They don't have all of the Stephanie Plum, which is fine. You can get them on audiobook here, and I do recommend listening to the audiobook. But Fingerlickin' 15, a barbecue sauce guy is found murdered. He's like created his own barbecue sauce, and Lula witnesses the murder. And so then she's on the hunt to get the reward to catch the murderer. It's hilarious.
So Hoopla is a digital service that we provide now. All you need is a library card. Again, if you don't have one, just call us or email us or fill out the form on our website. We will hook you up with a library card right away. And you can download ebooks, audiobooks, movies, TV shows, music. But there is a catch. You only get 5 a month.
And it's 5 period. Once you return one, you don't get another one. It's just 5 titles a month.
Yeah. But it's also one of those things where if Chantel has Fingerlickin' 15 by Janet Ivanovich out right now, somebody else can borrow it at the same time. So it's not like a single use.
It's not the same as Overdrive.
Yeah. I am reading Girl, Woman, Other by Bernadine Evaristo. It won the Booker Prize last year. It is very
award-winning.
I mean, it's a good story and I'm enjoying it, but the writing style is very much avant-garde. You know, there's a lot of run-on sentences with no capitals.
Okay.
And I borrowed that one from Overdrive.
My book club read It won the Pulitzer, and it had a PowerPoint presentation in the middle of it. And it was like
Oh,
a
the
visit
Jennifer-
from the Goon Squad. That's
Jennifer
what it was
Egan.
called. Yes.
See, I knew it.
It was weird.
Yeah. It's a different format.
Yeah.
6 feet away, and I can still see the expression on your face. And I'm also reading Les Miserables.
I am also reading a cookbook.
Okay. Are you going to deliver food to my house?
No. I'm going to deliver
fine.
food to my mouth. If you follow Chrissy Teigen, basically on the internet.
The whole of the internet.
She is the queen of the internet. Everywhere I look lately, people are doing Chrissy Teigen recipes. So she has 2 cookbooks out, Cravings and More Cravings or something like that. I want to make Cool Ranch Dorito taco salad. I want to make armadillo bread, which is just a big loaf of bread that's stuffed with cheese that you pull it out. I want to make that. I want to make pad thai. Ashley, we own both of her books, but of course both of them are in other branches and I can't get to them.
I can't get them right now.
So the second book's More Cravings. Sorry, I can't remember what it was called. Chrissy Teigen. She's very famous. I was like, I'm just going to buy it. So it was on sale on Kindle.
Okay.
And so I purchased it and I have been flipping through that.
I have to say that this has been hard on my book budget because I tend to not buy books because
too.
I work at the library. So I like borrow books and I can get anything I want.
Well, and chances are if we want to read it, somebody else wants to read it too.
Yeah, or I can borrow it from another library. It just means I have to wait a while, so it could come from anywhere in Canada.
Yeah.
Except that nobody is doing interlibrary loan. So if I want a book and we don't own it, I have to buy it.
Yeah. Or go without.
Yeah, I don't like it.
So far, that's the only book that I've bought is... Oh, that's not true. I bought another cookbook. But it was $3.99. It was on sale.
I bought the Physic book of Deliverance Dane,
For your class.
which I had talked about in our podcast. Because why does she hate librarians so much?
Don't go into it again.
Okay.
It was upsetting.
I'm done. So yeah, I bought that for my class. I bought it from Audible. So I have an Audible subscription that costs me $14 a month. Oh, I should really cancel that. That's a lot of money I could spend on yarn.
Or food. Or your electric bill.
No, it's my discretionary fund. It's not my food and electric bill fund. And I bought something else from Audible because I was like, oh, I want to read this book and I can't get my hands on it. Makes me whiny.
All right. So next week...
You're like, I don't want to deal with you.
Next week, nobody wants to listen to you whine.
No, they really don't. No. But I'm very good at it. She's nodding. Thanks. Next week. Do you remember what we're talking about next week?
Is it author pseudonyms?
Authors who write using a pseudonym. Yes.
Very exciting because I'm trying to think of... Actually, I did read somebody, a romance writer, using her pseudonym and didn't realize who it was and was very angry because I don't like her.
Oh, well, I look forward to hearing that story next week.
I just can't remember what book it was I read, so I'm going to have to figure
You're going to
that
have
out.
to go back and look it up. So follow us on social media. We're on the Facebook, the Twitter, and the Instagram. See, I'm waiting for you to make fun of me because you make fun of me when I say that.
No, it's fine. Keep going.
On Facebook, we have the Cumberland Public Libraries page, but we also have the My Two Favorite Librarians group. We're podcasting on there and posting some of these fun lists that we've been talking about. And Chantel's posting her album of the day. I think Chantel posted a really unflattering picture of me on Instagram today.
I have not posted that, so you're good to go.
Okay. Chantel's going to post a very unflattering picture of me on Instagram. And yeah, and we would love to hear from you on our My Two Favorite Librarians Facebook group.
Tell us what you're reading. Tell us what you're eating.
Are you following Chrissy Teigen? Are you going to make, what was it called? Armadillo bread?
Armadillo bread. Cool Ranch Dorito taco salad. Come on. I want that.
All right. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
My Two Favorite Librarians. Brought to you by Copper Tree Boutique in Dales Grand Market, located in beautiful, historic downtown Amherst.